The next three videos are in a way a continuation of the ideas discussed in videos 88 through 94, which involve generating log files for downloaded files and things like that. And the log files all had an embedded date in them. And you could have multiple log files for the same date that had multiple qualifier letters at the end of them. And it's a continuation on the content level in that it's talking about ideas about the log files, but it's also a continuation on the sort of a philosophical level where I'm talking about breaking complex problems into more solvable subproblems and then systematically solving these subproblems in subproblem test programs, or SPTPs, and then reintegrating the SPTPs into the over program, or OP, in order to have not only code that you know works, but code that is fully debugged and integrates well with the over code because you used the same kind of variable names and control names and that sort of thing. And these next three videos specifically involve extracting dates from the log file names, which is sort of the reverse of the process we discussed in the old videos where we're generating the dates, and then getting metadata in a list box about these dates and about the contents of the log files and things like that. Well, this is the form we use for the subproblem test problems. And for the first video, basically it's a list box consisting of two columns, the dates column and the number of files column. And the over program is actually much more complicated, and this has a lot more columns and a lot more meta information. But the subproblems we want to solve, these two columns will be enough. And it's artificial in that all we're really doing in this program is I generated a text file that has all the names of the log files. And on the version 1 of this program, which I have in the header V01, all we do is read in these this generated text file and put all the log file names in the first column. We don't do anything with it. We'll leave that to the next two subproblem test program. But without this, of course, we can't even work on it. And essentially this involves StreamReader SR and a list view item LVI. And we do a file.openText on the name of the text file we want to open. And then we do an initial read line. And we have a while loop that checks to see whether the line we read in is null. And if it's not null, that means we read in a line. So we create a new list view item, instantiate it in the usual manner in LVI, and set LVI.text equal to the log file name we read in. And then we add this item to the actual list view control, and then we read in the next line and keep doing that until we run out of lines, and then we close the text file. So if we compile and run this program, these are the log file names, and you'll notice there's some problems with them in terms of extracting the date, because we're going to have to do some kind of search for the numeric characters of the date, and there's already numeric characters in some of them, like in the legacy text files and so on. So these are problems we're going to have to figure out in the next two videos in the next two subproblem test programs. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a lot, and I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe.